Hi guys, welcome to episode 53 of the Daughter and Pops podcast. Today I will be going over the WNBA season, which I am very excited for. So basically today I will start off by going through all 12 teams and their rosters. And then I will finish it off with the opening day games, which is super exciting because that's coming up on May 14th, not this Friday, but next Friday. So you all know that I'll be watching that because I absolutely love the WNBA. Personally, I feel like the WNBA is more fun to watch than the NBA. If you just take out all the dunks from the NBA, I feel like the WNBA is the exact same, maybe even better. Probably even more fun to watch, too. I feel like the NBA doesn't even play defense anymore. I'm not sure if you guys saw or not, but that Wizards and Pacers game last night, that was very high scoring. I believe the Wizards got to 154 points, which is absolutely insane. So today I'm really excited. Another reason why I'm excited for the WNBA season is because of a few rookies that are in the WNBA currently. I happen to know a few personally, which has been absolutely awesome. So yeah, how about let's get started. So I'm going to go in alphabetical order as it relates to the teams. First we have the Atlanta Dream. So I know that the Atlanta Dream have a few new additions this year. I'll just say all the names that are on their roster real fast. First we have Odyssey Sims, who's a guard. Elizabeth Williams, who's a forward/center. Shatori Walker-Kimbrough, who's a guard. Kennedy Carter, who's a guard. Ari McDonald, guard. Yvonne Turner is a guard. Courtney Williams is a guard. Lindsay Pulliam is a guard. Tiffany Hayes is a guard. Tiana Hawkins is a forward. Kaylani Brown is a center. Monique Billings is a forward. Cheyenne Parker is a forward. Kayla Davis is a forward. And Shakina Strickland is a forward. And then two additional pieces are Crystal Bradford and Michaela Cowling. So in that case, as you could tell, the Atlanta Dream are a smaller team, so I do think that could hurt them a little bit in this season. But I feel like they have a very talented team. I know a few additions are Odyssey Sims at the guard position, same with Shatori Walker-Kimbrough. Ari McDonald was drafted number 3 in the draft to them. And then also Cheyenne Parker and Shakina Strickland are new. So they basically have pretty much a brand new team. So I'm interested to see how Kennedy Carter and Ari McDonald work together because I feel like that can be really good. So technically the head coach of the Atlanta Dream was Nikki Collin. I'm not sure if she's still going to coach or not because Nikki Collin was just named Baylor's new head coach. So technically, I don't know who their coach is. It could still be Nikki. But that could play a difference with the WNBA season being so close. Obviously, the college season and the WNBA season are completely different, and they're different time parts. But I could see that messing up the Atlanta Dream just a little bit. I believe that the Atlanta Dream are going to finish a lot better than last year. Keep in mind, guys, there's only 12 WNBA teams compared to 30 NBA teams, so this is a little bit different. I could see the Atlanta Dream placing maybe 6th or 7th towards the end of the season. I could see them doing pretty well. With them they are pretty young, though. I am interested to see their size with their pieces with Kaylani Brown, Monique Billings, Cheyenne Parker, and Elizabeth Williams. That's basically their only bigs. So in that case, I'll be interested to see how the guards work with the bigs, at least on the Atlanta Dream. So let's flip the page. Next, we have the Chicago Sky. I'm going to do the same exact thing as I did with the Atlanta Dream, just read through all the names. But this time, there's a lot more names, so be ready. First, we have Jessica January is a guard. Diamond DeShields a guard. Kalia Copper is a guard/forward. Candace Parker is a forward/center. Shyla Heal is a guard. Lexi Brown is a guard. Natasha Mack is a forward. Sparkle Taylor is a guard. Petra Holensinska is a guard. Allie Quigley, a guard. Gabby Williams is a forward. Courtney Vandersloot is a guard. Alexis Prince is a forward. Ruthie Hebert is a forward. Azura Stevens is a forward/center. Stephanie Dolson is a center. Kobe Thornton is a forward. Estelle Nador is a forward/center. Sierra Campiasano is a forward. Brittany Boyd-Jones is a guard. So obviously the Chicago Sky are pretty big. They added a huge addition over the free agency time, and that was Candace Parker. She left the Sky and she left the Sparks and signed with the Chicago Sky. She went back home because that's technically who she was drafted by, was the Sky. I'm interested to see how Courtney Vandersloot works with Candace Parker, because I know that, at least in watching Courtney Vandersloot's games last year, I know she worked really well with Stephanie Dolson, so I could see her working even better with Candace Parker. I also know that Diamond DeShields didn't even play much last year, so I'm really excited to watch her because she is one of my favorite players in the WNBA. She is just really crafty, and yeah. And obviously they added Lexi Brown as well. Obviously Lexi Brown, I feel like she's like one of the most famous WNBA players on Instagram, which is pretty funny in my opinion. I do say she was a good player. They did add her. Obviously they did get a few rookies, and that includes Sierra Campiasano. Sierra, she went to Cal Poly, and I got a chance when Liv and I worked out at Cal Poly at 6 a.m. in the morning with them. We did get a chance to meet her, so that was a lot of fun. She works really hard, almost always the first one in the gym, so she's super awesome. I'm really excited to see her play with the Chicago Sky. And obviously Chicago Sky, they do have a lot of height, so I think that could go to their advantage. I could see the Chicago Sky finishing just in front of the Atlanta Dream. And their head coach is James Wade. James Wade has done a pretty good job with them so far, so I'm excited to watch him this season. Next up, we have the Connecticut Sun. First, we have Beatrice Montpremier. She is a forward. Natisha Heidemann is a guard. Camilla Smalls is a guard. Stephanie Jones, forward. Jasmine Thomas is a guard. Aaliyah Goodman is a guard. Michaela Kelly is a guard. Brianne January is a guard. Dejani Carrington is a guard/forward. Morgan Birch is a forward. Dawana Bonner is a guard/forward. Alyssa Thomas, forward. Brianna Fraser is a forward. Jonquel Jones is a forward. Brianna Jones is a forward. Fiona Fitzgerald is a guard, and Kayla Charles is a guard/forward. Personally, I have heard nothing about the Connecticut Sun in the off season. As you could tell, for those of you who have been listening for a while now, they have barely changed their team, besides just adding in the rookies. I don't think they've barely changed their team whatsoever. So I know they didn't finish too well last year. I'm interested to see how Dawana Bonner is this year, because I know in last year's WNBA preview, Pops and I did not think she was going to do well, and we personally thought she was going to hurt the team, and she actually she did last year, but I know that they've all been working hard and everything to get better. I can see the Connecticut Sun finishing around 8th or 9th, because personally, I just don't think that they have extremely skilled players in order to be, because this year in the 2021 WNBA season, there are so many skilled players in the WNBA right now. So personally, the Connecticut Sun and the way that Kurt Miller, their head coach, plays, I don't think that it's going to work out too well as it relates to the season. So we'll see how they do. Next page, we have the Dallas Wings. First off, we have Satao Sabali as a forward. Marina Mabry is a guard. Mariah Jefferson is a guard. Kayla Thornton is a forward. Megan Gustafson is a center. Alicia Gray is a guard. Isabel Harrison is a forward. Arike Agumbawale is a guard. Awak Kuer is a center. Bella O'Leary is a forward/center. Charlie Collier is a forward/center. Tyasha Harris is a guard. Chelsea Dungy is a guard. Dana Evans is a guard. Dee Givens is a forward. And Destiny Walker is a guard. Personally, the Dallas Wings got the most of the steals of the draft. They had so many draft picks just like last year. So I can't wait to see how Charlie Collier and Sataus Sabali work together, because they are two very similar players. I could see this team doing pretty good this year, honestly. I know that they added Awa Kuer, who's a center. She came from Finland overseas, and she is ginormous. She is super tall. So the Dallas Wings, I personally feel like they got better this year. I'm interested to see how they play with the different size differences, and the different skill levels. Their head coach is Vicki Johnson, so I'm interested to see how she'll play it. Because personally, I think that the Dallas Wings have a very talented roster this year. I could see them finishing, honestly, if I'm being honest with you guys, I think they'll finish around 4th place. I think they're going to do really well. Next up, we have the Indiana Fever. So first off, we have Kelsey Mitchell, which is a guard. Aaliyah Wilson is a guard. Kathleen Doyle, guard. Danielle Robinson, guard. Kaisri Good. Don't ask me to pronounce her last name. I can't do it. She's a guard. Lindsay Allen is a guard. Lauren Cox is a forward. Chantel Lavender is a forward. Tierra McCowan is a center. Julie Alleman is a guard. Tiffany Mitchell is a guard. Victoria Vivians is a guard. Bernadette Hattar is a center. Jessica Breland is a forward. Unique Thompson is a forward. And Chelsea Perry is a forward. So I know last year Julie Alleman was the Indiana Fever starting point guard. But personally, I think it's going to be the girl Kaisri. I can't pronounce her last name. She came from West Virginia. She's getting all kinds of hype. I think a ton of people think she's going to be Rookie of the Year this year, but I highly disagree. I could see her being the starting point guard possibly, but I'm not sure if she's going to do extremely well like everybody is thinking. Yes, she's a great player, but she went really, really high in the draft, and I'm not sure if she's, how would I say this? She's a really tough player, but I'm not sure if she's going to be able to do what she did in college in the WNBA, because there's just a lot more skill and everything. So I know the Indiana Fever, personally, I feel like they're always a boring team to watch, because they always have a decent amount of forwards and centers. But this year they actually have a lot more guards than forwards. So maybe they'll get out in transition more. I'd like to see Tierra McCowan rebounding and then outletting it out to, let's just say, Danielle Robinson, and then getting a breakaway layup. I feel like that would be way more fun to watch. Their head coach is Marianne Stanley. I believe this is only her 2nd year, so though I don't really like the way that she plays, but I could see maybe making a change this year, because I feel like they're almost in the same boat as the Connecticut Sun. I feel like the Connecticut Sun and Indiana Fever, I feel like they have a very similar type of play and a very similar type of players as well. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, next up we have the Las Vegas Aces. So, personally, I feel like this is a championship contender team. So, first we have Jackie Young at the guard. Raquana Williams is a guard. Dearica Hamby is a forward. Liz Cambage is a center. Kelsey Plum is a guard. Chelsea Gray is a guard. Jisoo Park is a center. Shaquilla Thomas is a forward. Asia Wilson is a forward. Lauren Manis is a forward. Destiny Slocum is a guard. Emma Canyon is a forward, and Angel McCautry is a guard/forward. So they got the Las Vegas Aces got a huge bonus this year in adding Chelsea Gray. Chelsea Gray also left the Sparks, which I'll get to the Sparks next. But I think that her, and you also have Kelsey Plum back this year for the Las Vegas Aces, Man, those two along with, in my opinion, this is what the starting lineup will be. Kelsey Plum, Chelsea Gray, Liz Cambridge, and Asia Wilson and Angel McCautry. Personally, I feel like that is a very good starting five. And then you still have Dearica Hamby, Raquana Williams, and Jackie Young on the bench. Personally, I think that is going to be a really good team. I do think that they are championship contenders. I do like head coach Bill Lambier, so obviously, as you could tell, I'm very high on the Aces this year. But I feel like almost anybody could be. If I could, I think that I would say that the Las Vegas Aces are going to win the championship this year if they don't have any injuries to one of their star players in that fact. Obviously, Asia Wilson, she did get MVP last year, and she did deserve it. And I know that it was pretty tough for her. Seattle Storm beat the Las Vegas Aces last year, but that's because everybody was hurt, and it was basically Asia Wilson versus the Seattle Storm. So I'm excited to see what she will do with this year with the stacked team. So yeah. Next up, we have the Los Angeles Sparks. Okay, so the Los Angeles Sparks lost a bunch of key pieces this year, and that includes Chelsea Gray, Candace Parker, and multiple others, but they did get a few additions to their team. So I will be interested to see how they work together because they got a ton of new pieces. In my opinion, it feels like a brand new team. So first we have Amanda Zowie B, and she's a center. Tia Cooper is a guard. Stephanie Watts is a guard. Maria Vadiva is a center. Nia Coffey is a forward. Chene Ogwumike is a forward/center. Brittany Sykes is a guard. Erica Wheeler is a guard. Christy Tolliver is a guard. Sydney Wise is a guard. Nneka Ogwumike is a forward. Christine Anagui is a forward/center. Bria Holmes is a guard. Simone Augustus is a guard/forward. And Jasmine Walker is a forward. So I'm not going to say all the new additions because there's too many of them. But you also have Christy Tolliver returning from last year. She technically didn't even play much because I don't remember if she either got hurt or she sat out because of the protesting. But I know that they also added Erica Wheeler, and she is a very good guard. So I'm interested to see how this team gels together because I feel like there's a bunch of talent. But then again, it's a brand new team, personally, in my opinion. And I think that this season is kind of like, what would you say? A season to, spectate them. You get to watch what they do, watch how they play. I feel like next season, I know we're talking about this season, as Pops would say, but no, I feel like next season that they would be a very good team. But as of right now, I do see them finishing around 9th place. I am not a very big fan of the Sparks. I know Derek Fisher is a head coach, and he came in last year. Obviously, Candace Parker had a little bit of issues with him. But I think that the Sparks, I'm interested to see how they are going to gel together this year. I'll put it that way. Next, we have the Minnesota Lynx. First, we have Renaya Davis at guard/forward. Japrice Dean at guard. Crystal Dangerfield at guard. Bridget Carlton at forward. Ashika Alexander at guard. Jessica Shepard at forward. Natalie Achanwa at forward. Damiris Dantas at forward. Selena Lott at guard. Rachel Banham at guard. Michaela Vaughn at forward. Kayla McBride at guard. Ariel Powers at guard/forward. Lene Harper as guard. Nafisa Collier at forward. Michaela Pivich at guard. And Sylvia Fowles at center. Okay, so obviously Minnesota did add a few pieces to their team, one being Natalie Achanwa, also from the Fever, and she's a pretty good forward. They also added Kayla McBride from the Aces, and they also added Ariel Powers. So I feel like those are three good, very strong additions to their team, especially Natalie Achanwa, because I do know as Sylvia Fowles is getting older, I think that she will definitely be a good addition because the Minnesota Lynx almost always have a really strong forward or center in the league. And I think that's something that head coach Cheryl Reeve does a good job with, is playing off of their forwards. The thing is that you need to have, like, forwards that can run, and that's something that I like about Damaris Dantas this season, is that she, even though she's a post player, she's also pretty fast, which is going to be strong, especially going against a team like the Las Vegas Aces, who are going to get out in transition a lot. So in my opinion, I think that the Minnesota Lynx have a decent team this year. I do see them finishing right about in the middle as usual. But I do think that they do have a possibility of being a playoff contender. I don't think that they'll be a championship contender, but I do think that they are definitely a playoff contender. Excuse me, I burped right there. I'm excited to watch Nafisa Collier this year. I think she'll do a good job because she's also pretty fast. So we'll see how the Minnesota Lynx do. Next up, we have the New York Liberty. They have a really big roster this year, so get ready for this one. First, we have Liana Odom at forward, Dee Richards at guard/forward, Jasmine Jones at guard, Natasha Howard at forward, Laisha Clarendon at guard, Rebecca Allen at guard, Joyner Holmes forward, Michaela Onyenwere at forward, Jocelyn Willoughby at guard/forward, Jasmine Bailey is a guard, Sabrina Ionescu is a guard, Valerie Higgins is a guard/forward, Maureen Johannes is a guard, Kylie Shook is a forward, Asia Durr is a guard, Janelle Bailey is a forward/center, Asia Taylor is a forward, Sammy Whitcomb is a guard, Betnesia Laney is a guard/forward, and Kia Stokes is a center. So obviously they added a few additions, one being Natasha Howard. I feel like she could do a good job fitting in with this team, because this team's really fast. I will give them that. They're really fast. They do have almost their entire team returning from last year, so that is a very good sign for them. I think that, I know last year I said that I'm excited to watch them this year, and I am really excited to watch the Liberty this year. I don't have a personal ranking for how they're going to do, because I'm not sure how they fit together. So I'm not going to give out a ranking. I'll wait to give out a ranking towards the middle of the season. They obviously have their head coach, Walt Hopkins. I think he'll do a good job because there's so many guards on this team. There's a mix of so many different players. I'm really excited to watch Sabrina this year. I know she got hurt in the middle of the season last year. So I'm excited to watch her and Dee Richards with each other. So we'll see how they do. I think the New York Liberty, I said I can't give them a ranking yet. It's too hard to decide. But I'm excited to watch their guards this season. Next up, we have the Phoenix Mercury. So first we have Kia Nurse at guard, Kia Vaughn at center, Megan Walker at forward, Diana Taurasi at guard, Skylar Diggins-Smith at guard, Shea Petty at guard, Sophie Cunningham at guard, Marta Arge, I'm not sure how tall she is, so I can't say. Alana Smith is a forward, Brielle Hartley is a guard, Akela Mays is a center, Brianna Turner is a forward, Avery Warley Talbert is a center, Sierra Burdick is a forward, Sierra Johnson is a center, Brittany Griner is a center, Tiana Mekinga is a guard, and Sarah Blikovs is a forward. Don't judge me if I said Tiana's last name wrong. She did come from Syracuse. Like I said, she's a really tough player in battling cancer and battling it too, and then coming out here and playing. So I'm excited to watch her this season. I think the Phoenix Mercury are going to do about the same as last year. I'm not sure how. I don't think they're going to do too well. Their head coach is Sandy Brondello. Yes, as most of you know, I am in Phoenix, Arizona, but I will be rooting for them, but I'm not sure how they're going to do this season. I feel like they have the same team returning as last year. I feel like they're kind of in the same boat as the Minnesota Lynx. I feel like they have the same team returning. I'm not sure. I think they're going to do about the same as last year, personally. So, not much to say on them this year. Okay, next page. Next, we have the Seattle Storm. First, we have Brittany Brown at guard. Brittany Brown at guard, Tamara Young at forward, Mercedes Russell at center, Khadijah Alaska at guard, Candice Dupree at forward, Stephanie Talbot at forward, Kennedy Burke at forward, Sue Bird at guard, Epiphany Prince at guard, Micah Herbert Harrigan at forward, Ezzie Magbagor at center, Haley Goretzky at guard, Jordan Canada at guard, Peyton Williams at forward, Kiana Williams at guard, Jewel Lloyd at guard, Natalie Kukowski at forward, Brianna Stewart at forward, Nadia Jones at forward, and Katie Lou Samuelson at forward. Wow, what a stacked team this is. I love head coach Dan Hughes. He's done a great job with the Seattle Storm this far. I'm really, 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 really excited to watch them versus the Las Vegas Aces this year. The Seattle Storm added multiple new pieces, and Las Vegas Aces added multiple new pieces. I do think that the Seattle Storm would pull away and beat the Aces, but I do think it'll be a very close game. So I'm excited to watch those games this season. Those will be absolutely awesome and amazing to watch. The Seattle Storm have a stacked roster. They added Candice Dupree from the Fever. I could see her fitting in well because, as I said earlier, they did get rid of Natasha Howard. I do think that Candice Dupree is a good addition for them. Obviously, you have superstar Brianna Stewart still on the team. I do like Kiana Williams, their point guard from Stanford. I think she will fit in well with this team, especially Jordan Canada. I also like, I also like Haley Goretzky. She is a very strong guard, and I'm excited to watch her play on this team too. And I also think that Katie Lou Samuelson will get a lot more shots with this team because she's such a great shooter. But when she's played previously, she hasn't gotten like a ton of catch and shoot opportunities. I think with Sue Bird being a really good guard, and same with Jordan Canada, I think she'll get a lot of catch and shoot opportunities. So I do think that Seattle Storm, again, is a championship contender this year. I really like that team. So we'll see how they end up. Maybe in first place at the end of the season. And last but not least, we have the Washington Mystics. So first we have Kiara Leslie at guard, Maisha Hines-Allen at forward, Pri Stanley at guard, Stella Johnson at guard, Leilani Mitchell at guard, Ariel Atkins at guard, Natasha Cloud at guard, Shavante Zealous at guard, Elena Deladon at guard/forward, mostly a forward, Jillian Elaine at forward/center, Aislinn Koenig at guard, Jimrice Davis at forward, Erica McCall at forward, Tina Charles at center, Teresa Plasons at forward, Sug Sutton at guard, and Kiera Conquest at guard. I'm not sure what to say about this team. So last year they had multiple players sit out from the protest. So it's been a while since someone like Natasha Cloud has played in a game. So I think that for the first few games of the season, I know she's been practicing and scrimmaging against the Mystics. I'm sure she's been playing against men as well. But being in an actual WNBA game, I could see her being a little bit slow at first. I do think Elena Deladon will do her thing this season, as always. She's such a strong player. But I don't know. I'm not sure how well Elena Deladon and Tina Charles play together. I know Elena Deladon barely played I don't know. She missed the season last year because of her health and because of COVID. So again, it's been a while since she's played in a game. I'm not sure how Elena Deladon and Tina Charles are going to work together because Tina Charles joined last year. We were all excited to watch Elena Deladon and Tina Charles play together, but then Elena Deladon sat out last season, which is totally understandable. I'm not sure how they're going to play together this year. I think it'll be interesting because they play two completely different roles, but then again, Elena Deladon most of the time is a forward, so that should be interesting. I do think that the Washington Mystics will finish more towards the end. I know that Mike Thibault is their head coach this season. But then again, I'm not too excited to watch this team. I still say that they're going to finish more towards the end. So there is the roster breakdown of each team. That was a lot of fun in my opinion. Last but not least, like I said at the beginning, I'm going to get to their opening day games, which is May 14th, not this Friday, but next Friday. Super excited to watch opening day, as always. So first we have the Indiana Fever versus the New York Liberty playing against each other. I will take New York Liberty for the win. I do think that the Indiana Fever are going to... I think all teams are going to start off a little bit slow and a little bit sloppy, just because some of them haven't played in a game in a while, and then again, there's also multiple rookies. So don't be surprised if it's a little bit sloppy at the beginning of the game. But I will take the New York Liberty for the win. Next, we have the Connecticut Sun versus the Atlanta Dream. I will take the Atlanta Dream for the win by, I'm not sure. I'll take them by double digits, actually, just to surprise you guys a little bit. I really like the Atlanta Dream this year. I do think that you obviously have Shonquel Jones on the Connecticut Sun, but I do think that she will be the only piece that could really hurt the Dream in that case. So I'll take the Atlanta Dream for the win. Next, we have the Phoenix Mercury versus the Minnesota Lynx. I'm not sure about this one. I have a feeling this is going to be a close game, but also very low scoring. So I think that in that case, if it's going to be low scoring, I think I'm going to have to take the Phoenix Mercury, just because they do have better guards, in my opinion. So in that case, I think that the guards will score more points more towards the end of the game. And you have to think of like those really, really clutch players. And in that case, you have Skylar Diggins-Smith and Diana Taurasi, which are two very clutch players who always step up. They've hit multiple game winners. So in that case, I'll have to take the Phoenix Mercury against the Lynx. Next, we have the Dallas Wings versus the Los Angeles Sparks. I'll take the Dallas Wings for the win, just because you already heard me earlier how much I like the Wings. I still like the Sparks. I think this will be like a 5.5, 6 point game. So kind of close. I do have the Dallas Wings for the win, though. So that is my WNBA season opener podcast. And I am very, very excited to watch on May 14th, not this Friday, but next Friday, opening day. I'm really excited to see all these players come back. This is truly the first real WNBA game in a while. The reason I say real is because I believe there's going to be a few fans in there as well. Last season we had players sitting out because of COVID, protesting. Everybody is back now, so I'm super excited for that. I'm really excited to watch the Atlanta Dream, the Dallas Wings this season, the New York Liberty, all the young teams. So, yeah, that is my WNBA season opener. Thank you guys all for tuning in to episode 53 of the Daughter and Pops podcast.